guys, welcome back to another episode of Breakfast with the Boys. Last week we brought you Alexis Taylor, upcoming country star from Canada. This week we're bringing you actually a former high school classmate of mine. You're a year older than me, but we're Stanford Hornets through and through. You have to be a certain kind of person to go to that school, so that's why I knew I had to have him on this podcast. Ryan Langdon, what's going on, buddy? How's things?
It's going good, buddy. How about yourself?
Very good, very good. Now I know last year and that has been like a massive year for you in music. You know, Lit in the Sticks came out. It was awesome. I heard that on like the mainstream country stations in the States. That was everywhere, man. First off, now that you've had that time in between and seeing how well it did, and to be honest with you, I don't have the numbers, but I would bet my left nut that it went over 1 million streams on like Spotify and that. Like, what was that like, man? Like, now that you look back at it, does that motivate you to just want to keep going or what, especially during these trying times?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think it's a real surreal moment when you get to see, like, once you hit the million streams mark. It's about 3 million now, and it keeps going every kind of day you wake up.
Exactly, that's it.
5,000, which is pretty sweet. But it's just, you're just trying to find that next song that tops it. It's like only people remember you by your next song, and you got to keep growing and getting better. And but it's an amazing experience to see like the response that song got. And I'm very proud and happy how it went.
100%, man. It's a damn good song. Jay, you look like you got something to say down there, buddy. Okay?
Yeah, well, you could see me moving around.
I can see you getting excited. Ask your question.
No, I listened to Lit in the Sticks. It was awesome. Great song. I'm kind of curious, and I always ask artists this. How did you kind of get into the business? Like, what made you want to wake up one day and say, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to write songs, specifically country.
Yeah, man. So like, as anybody that knows me since I was a kid, like I've always been that center of attention type of dude. I always liked performing, always liked getting up in front of family, dancing. I think the first time I ever sang in front of anybody was in my elementary school, and it was like in front of 500 people. So like being in front of people was always like my niche. Like I always liked it. I always enjoyed it. When it comes to songwriting, since high school, I picked up the guitar my senior year. And it was one of those things that the minute I picked up the guitar, I just started writing. And then when you start getting into country music, some of the best writers in the world are country writers, and they're down in Nashville, and you get to write with those people. And it takes you to a whole nother level, like how talented those guys are down there. It's just amazing. It's just a different world.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Like going to school with you, I remember when you were putting out songs, people were telling you should do more country stuff. Because I remember when you first came out, you were hitting us with some of that sweet serenation that make the ladies go wild. There were some like sweet love songs going on, and I mean they were fantastic. But you always had the country sound, and that's kind of ingrained in you from your family too.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think anybody, especially in high school, if you're a guy and you pick up the guitar, it's trying to pick up some chicks here and there. I think that's the reason why anybody picks up the guitar. But it's also the love of music. Just being able to sing songs that you enjoy listening to is always a fun thing to do. But yeah, the country sound is kind of always been like something that I've just grown up with. Like my dad was a big Hank Williams Jr. fan, so like as a kid, it's all I used to listen to in the house, and it was amazing. Like that music is still like some of my favorite country songs of all time is coming out of Hank Williams Jr.'s and John Denver as well. But even George Strait, those guys, I just always loved that deep, rich sound. I moved away to Australia, and coming back, I was like, when I was there, I'm like, you know what, I need to start. The minute I come back to Canada, I'm going to start, songwriting, getting kind of into my own sound, and it was country, and that was probably about 8 years ago. So I've been doing this for a while, and it's taken some time, but I guess anything that is worth it is going to take some time, I guess.
So we've heard from two Canadian country singers in a row now here. How did you think the country music got up to Canada? Like, do you think like it's a different sound in Canada as opposed to the US? And did you get your inspiration from more American artists or more like Canadian country singers?
Yeah, that's a good question, because honestly, like if anybody's been out west, you'll understand that country music is like massive out there. There's so many radio stations out there. It's insane. It's a different breed than Ontario. Ontario is growing for sure. There's just so much talent coming out of Canada now. I think it's just the fact that how easy it is to get like your songs produced American. Like some guy can do it in his basement. Like you don't need to find a studio that is, fork out $100,000 to get a good sound anymore. It's crazy. I would say like a lot of my influences are American music. My father going to the University of Tennessee kind of ingrained a lot of that U.S. country sound. And obviously, it being when I was in high school, even going into college, I think like Jason Aldean, I've always been kind of addicted to that sound and his voice, and I've always liked that rich tone and a little edge. I like it. Yeah, I think a little edge is always good when you have a good sound. Yeah, so you're answering your question. I think I'm just influenced by a lot, like just good music. If it's a song that I'm into, I don't care if it's Canadian, American, I'm down.
That's
There you
awesome.
go.
Yeah. And you see like Tim Hicks has done incredible as well. The country music's growing here. It is like these guys are from the States. Alberta is like our South. Like the people in Alberta, like they're conservative. They're working on the oil field. They love their country music. Like there's no music out there but country music. In Ontario, it's probably pop. It's probably classic rock. Like, I mean, country might be third or fourth. It is growing, but out west in Canada where there's a ton of people, Edmonton, Calgary out that way, and Fort McMurray and that all huge country people, man. And so we've been here. You get smacked with the pandemic right in the middle of Rising. I imagine the shows that you would have had lined up or would have been in talks to line up were huge. World shuts down. What's been going on? I mean, there's some virtual shows I saw you were playing, but like, do we got a path forward here, do you think? And what have you been doing in the meantime to make sure that you're staying sharp, whether it be writing new songs or you're working on another project? What's going on?
Yeah, man, it's when that pandemic hit, it was just absolutely insane. Because as an artist, you don't know, like there was no like talk of like you heard from word of mouth that this is going to take a while to get past this thing, and you didn't know when shows were coming back, and it's tough. It's tough to be optimistic and positive and kind of move forward when you don't know the answer to the question, like you don't know when things are going to open. So I think that the best thing to do was like to just continue to write and try to keep edge out your craft and get more material, because when things do open up, you kind of have to have a lot in your repertoire getting ready to roll, because if you don't, you're just going to be left in the dust. This business it's a tough business, and everybody else is probably doing the same thing, writing music and getting ready for things to open up. But yeah, the summer was pretty good. Got to play a couple shows, which was awesome. It's not the same as having like people in front of you. They're in their vehicles, but it did the trick. It felt good being on stage, and especially with my band. I love playing with those guys. Those guys are a lot of fun to play with, and they make me sound a lot better. So it's a lot. It's always a good time. But as for new material, we're writing. We're probably gonna release a new single probably pretty soon. Just kind of narrowing down to what tunes we're gonna pick, and though I think the goal is to have a full length album probably by the end of year or start of next year, and then just roll some shows. Hopefully this vaccine starts kicking in when whatever that is, and shows start rolling.
That's it, man. That's it. I know I miss festivals. There's obviously huge ones around here. How you got your start? You were doing, did you not win like a competition or something like that? I'm just going off memory here. Was it not something for, what's the big one over the river there? What was it? I can't, I'm
The one
blanking here.
that got me going was the Boots and Hearts Emerging Artist Showcase. So they
Yeah,
do it every
Boots and
year, and that was a big one. I think that kind of got me noticed a little bit. And then my publishing company, which I signed a deal with, is Slate Music. They had a contest like maybe a year after that, maybe a year and a half. And I entered in that. I didn't win that contest, but I got their kind of attention, and I think I came second or whatever. And then they ended up signing me to a publishing deal, and then I ended up signing kind of a record deal with Hidden Pony, who's affiliated with Slate Music. So they're in their direction. It's just getting the material down, and yeah, it's tough. Like I said, it's tough to know exactly what's going to happen when you don't know what's going to happen.
No, exactly, man. It's crazy. And then like you're stuck home and you're not traveling around, you're not playing shows and that. And then like, man, it's just a weird time. Like, I've seen you out, like we like to go have a beer in a dive bar and sing some karaoke from time to time. Actually, I think that's the last time I even ran into you, was singing karaoke at a dive bar. And it's just a weird time to be alive, man. But certainly looking forward to the new stuff. And like I know a lot of artists right now are kind of influenced by what's going on in the world, or any of the new songs kind of based on anything like that, or are these just more kind of like your stories?
Yeah, man, it's kind of probably more so just the topics that we're singing about are songs that everybody can relate to. I think that's, especially in country music, that's very important to hone that in. I think the new stuff is kind of going to be a little bit more on the kind of your typical side, like a song about picking up a lady, or a song about a woman, at a bar. More so that, like, the EP that we released is pretty much every song is about getting drunk or smoking dope, which is pretty
There you go.
really bring it down. I don't know if people like it too much, but
Hey, you
The
know
but,
boys
what?
can relate to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, exactly.
so you kind of have to like, especially as you get older, you can't just sing a song about getting drunk or smoking dope. So because not everybody does it.
No, that's right. That's right, man. That's awesome. Well, Ryan, we appreciate it. Everybody go check out Ryan Langdon's music on Spotify, or on Apple Music, wherever you get it. Lit in the Sticks, Buck Wild. Leave Me Right is like my girlfriend's favorite song. She actually was shocked that I knew you. Like, it was like a big
Oh,
deal to her. And like, to me, it's just like we went to high school together first. And like, I known you for years, and football guys and all that, man. But it's really awesome to see everything you got going on, man. So certainly we're going to be looking for it, and hopefully we can sit down again, and maybe we'll plan a podcast where it's a little more laid back, a little less music, maybe a little more having a couple beers with the boys, chatting stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm down, man. You guys want to talk about sports too? I'm in. I
Hell
like that.
yeah, hell
Oh, yeah.
yeah, anytime, buddy.
Favorite
Ryan
topic.
Langdon, the guy's the king. Good seeing you, buddy. Thanks for dropping by.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, guys. Nice meeting you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
it easy, pal.